Hello, and welcome to this webinar from Atlantic Technological University on the theme of advancing your career in business, education, law, and tourism. My name is Eamon Walsh, Head of Faculty Engagement for our flexible online and professional development programs here at ATU. For our talk, we will focus in on business management and key leadership skills for your career. And I'm delighted to be joined by Sean Kelly, Marketing, Communications and Student Recruitment Officer at St. Angela's College, Paul McGuckin from the Department of Business at ATU Donegal, Seamus Lennon, Head of School of Business at ATU Galway Mayo, and Alan Kelly from the Department of Marketing, Tourism and Sport at ATU Sligo. Just some housekeeping before we begin. We're not taking any questions within this talk. However, if you want to head to the live Q&A section of our virtual open evening platform, you can submit any questions there, and our team are online right now to answer your questions. So, Sean, I might begin with yourself. You're also a student at ATU Sligo and you just completed year one on the MA in Professional Leadership, so I understand. Why did you choose that master's?
So I chose that one specifically, Eamon, because I suppose over the years working at the college and working in the education sector, I found myself in leadership roles that came about organically. So it's not something that I set out to do, but it just happened. And I found that I enjoyed it. So I did begin another degree some years back and unfortunately couldn't finish it, but I could carry across a couple of modules. So I got what's known as RPL, or Recognized Prior Learning, for what I had covered. So it was an easy match, I suppose, finding the Masters in Professional Leadership. It aligned really well to what I had already started and to what I wanted to apply to my current role and see in future roles. So yeah, it seemed like a good fit at the time, and yeah, 1 year is done.
Very good. And can you describe how you managed to balance your studies with other commitments like work and family?
Yeah, it can be a challenge because when you're out of education for so long and you're thrown back into it, you really do have to plan. But you know your timetable. You're given the dates and the times that you have. It was 2 days per week, 2 evenings per week, I should say, and that was the live classes. All classes are recorded, so you can jump in if you miss a live class. And I didn't make it to every live class, but you can jump back and watch them at any stage. And you just got used to it, I suppose. You factored it into your working week on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, and then setting your time aside then for your reading. So it helps having an understanding partner, and it helps having, flexibility in family and personal life as well.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And what do you think you're gaining by taking the course?
Well, first and foremost, it's the qualification. It's going to kind of put me on a platform where I'll be eligible to apply for opportunities that I couldn't have before. So that was the kind of main objective. But given the subject matter, I suppose you really are getting a foundation of the understanding of what it is to be a good leader in today's world. And it's amazing. At the time, you think it gets heavy and there's a lot of information in there, a lot of content. But when you take a moment to reflect, it does come into your work life, and even your out of work life as well. Some of the concepts and some of the practices and the theories that you're reading about does appear in everyday life. So it's definitely given me food for thought, a lot of food for thought.
Okay, great. So it sounds like it's a real help to you in your job and in your role.
Yeah, it's a good match. I'm definitely glad that it's aligning well to where, again, not only where I am now, but where I hope to be.
Very good. And finally, any advice for anyone considering applying for a part-time course at ATU?
Yeah, I still feel like I just applied for it, and it doesn't feel like a year. It went by really fast. Do your research. Have a think about where, what it is you want to do. Having a personal interest, of course, if there's a spark of interest there, is great. But my reasoning was more professional development, so I needed to find that one program or that range of programs that would have aligned to me. So do your research and just make sure that it's the right course for you. When you're in on it, then I would really encourage students to engage and participate in the live classes, in the residential days, which are there as well, because it really does, when you meet your peers and meet your classmates and find out about their backgrounds, it does change the dynamics in the group. So definitely engage and participate a little bit more. And then lastly, just know the supports are available as well. So all the lectures they're only at the end of an email. They're always really fast to respond. And the Academic Writing Centre was excellent as well. So don't forget that the supports are there from day one.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Sean. I might move on to yourself, Paul. Just, in your opinion, what are the key trends in business management in the 21st century?
Well, Eamon, I suppose this is an exciting time, isn't it, to be involved in business management. There's so many things happening, and we see a lot of the big ticket items, the things that are always on the news people are talking about. For example, we have digital transformation, this whole explosion around artificial intelligence and how it's impacting organizations and how all of us do business. Every time I open LinkedIn, I read an article on LinkedIn. There's an article about remote working, hybrid working, which is best, or work on the beach. So that's all very confusing. We have the increasing demands and expectations of customers. They're putting increased demands in business. We have to look after the employees, the well-being of our employees. And there's also that discussion around equality, diversity, and inclusion. So all those things are very important. You put that alongside the discussion around the environment, sustainable development goals, and are we responsible within our business? So when you start to look at it and list out even that short list of things, there's a lot of demands on people in business. And really, when you're looking at leadership and the courses that we offer across ATU for executive leadership, it's very difficult for people to manage expectations in all of those areas. So it's a matter of trying to give them the skills and tools that they can cope and learn to adapt to them. But we can't predict everything that's going to happen, but it's how we manage what happens there. And what I like to say is this a crisis or is it an opportunity? And if we approach it with that mindset, we can hopefully deal with some of the trends. We won't always get it right, but hopefully that's the direction that we're taking.
Fantastic, thank you. And it's a very complex world, I guess, that we live in today. So there's a lot of challenges for managers. And again, in your opinion, what do you think the key leadership skills that are required for today's workplace?
The key leadership skill, as I see it, and working with people in the various cohorts over the years that we've had them, is that, again, there's a false or an unrealistic expectation of what a leader should be. So I like to use the term humble leadership. If we can practice that skill of humble leadership, where it's about the people around us, because I'll say something that might sound controversial, but we don't really need leadership a lot of the time. We only need leadership in moments of uncertainty. So when things are going normally, when things are going well, leadership can sit in the background. Okay, so normal things. And we only really need leadership, this multi-billion-dollar business, when things go wrong or there's a little bit of uncertainty. So what happens there is you'll get the leader, the ego leader, and he might come along and say, stand back, everybody. I'm here now. I'm here to solve the problem. And it may work once, it may work twice, but it's not sustainable. So when you look at what the humble leader does, what she does is, in those times of normality and certainty, she's working away in the background, practicing the skills. She's set the vision, she's communicated it well, she's working with her colleagues, she's building those teams, setting that culture that people feel that they are empowered, that they're part of things, and their input really matters and cares. So when the time comes, when the leader steps forward, we're prepared to follow her. And that's really what we're aiming to do. So leadership is a really complicated process. That's why we see it done so badly so many times. However, if we can manage to break it down into small, simple component parts and build on that, it's something that we can all aspire to. And that makes it quite exciting.
Okay, fantastic, brilliant insight into leadership. So business almost runs itself, and then when there's a crisis, you need the good leadership to step in. That's really interesting. And those skills, then, how are they developed in the courses that we offer at ATU?
So the magic recipe, eh? That's what we're looking for. So yeah, the way we do it in ATU Donegal is, I suppose if we can use a cooking analogy, is we have three important ingredients. The first one is we use block delivery, and we bring in expert speakers across the various modules of change, leadership, innovation, learning organization, etc. So we bring in expert speakers over a couple of days. and they impart their knowledge and wisdom and have the chat with the group. So the second ingredient then is the participants themselves, the students that we get in ourselves, and they bring their own experiences and also their own challenges. And then they, over a period of time, they form a group together themselves. So it's a small enough group of about 16 people working together. So the key ingredient that we use is action learning. And the way I like to explain it, it's common sense, which we know common sense isn't that common. So it really works on the basis of we undertake action, we learn from that, we reflect, and it's this continually evolving cycle. And it seems to work. The magic seems to happen within those individual groups. So it works, and believe me, I wouldn't say the magic happens too often in public, but we've been running these courses for years and years with very senior people in public, private sector, both sides of the border. And if we weren't getting it right, they would tell us. So it works okay.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paul. That was really insightful. Might move over now to Alan at ATU Sligo. Alan, you're chair for the new Masters in Digital Business at ATU Sligo. So we've heard one perspective on leadership, but what is digital leadership?
How you doing, Eamon? Yeah, digital leadership, I suppose, is one of those sort of buzz terms that has been coming around the past while. Look, I suppose a lot of things come out of COVID, and an awful lot of companies with the digital disruption, they really had to embrace technology. And like Paul says, a lot of it isn't just an ad hoc one-off. There's ongoing things that'll go on there. And I think we're realizing that it's not that we need people who are, I'll use the word a digital advocate. They don't necessarily need to be a technical person in terms of computer science, programming, e-commerce, build a website. They don't need that skill set. They just need to understand this is technology. This is what it can do for us. These are some of the solutions, and it can prove what we're offering here. So that advocate, that person who promotes it, pushes it on, that's really what a digital leader is. And there's a few traits that are needed in there as well. It's not as straightforward as you would imagine, because you're looking at digital and you're looking at the business aspects as well, and management and planning. So there's a fair few bits and pieces in there, but it's one of those terms I think we're going to see a bit more of as companies try to develop this agile culture within their workplaces so that they can adapt to changes that are coming on. And as we mentioned, like AI in the past 6 months in our field in academia, God, it's changed a lot of stuff for us. So these are the things that are going to continue to happen. And we need to have people who understand the process, how to adapt, how to make the best out of a situation. And that's my take on what a digital leader should be trying to do.
Okay. And in your opinion, why is digital leadership so important then?
I think we've had this whole thing with the digital disruption. And if you look at things like digital transformation, which again is we've heard a lot about, a huge percentage of digital transformation doesn't work. I've seen some crazy figures, like three quarters of them don't work. And there's three key areas really when it comes to digital transformation. You have the technology, the people, and the process. And the way I look at it is the technology does what it's told. So really, it's the human aspect is the big part here. And that comes down to the people understanding what it's needed for, which I think is a big thing. So this is what we do. This is our process. This is how we need it to work. And the implementation and getting the people on board is the other part. And that's where the leadership comes in as well. It's bringing people with you who want to do this and that are going to accept it. So they're the three areas that we have problems with. And that's, I think the digital leader is the one person who can bring all of that forward. And we really have to bring our digital transformation on because, like I said, it isn't really working for us. And it's the aspect I think that we're going to see businesses hone in on more. The people within their organizations who are those advocates who can push on, who realize this is the tools that are available to us, this is what they're going to do for us. And the most important thing is this is how we can implement and this is how we can bring it into aid our organization.
Fantastic. And we certainly are in an era of digital transformation. So this is why this stuff is so important. And finally, how does the new Masters in Digital Business help people become digital leaders?
When we started the course, it was one of the things we looked at. It was one of the outcomes really that we wanted is what will the person leave here with? What's the skill set they're going to have? And for digital leadership, there's a few aspects to it. But I mean, if you look at, we were very conscious of the practical skill sets they needed. Honestly, I can't see them becoming a computer programmer in such a short space of time with a couple of 5-credit modules. Not to the level you need to get. Similarly with e-commerce, they're complicated things. So we looked at the stuff that's important that they can manage. So cybersecurity, understanding it, how that works, what they need to know to implement. We're looking at data analysis, big data, which is huge. And again, that's just not about using software. That's about understanding the numbers, getting it in the right format so that they're all be able to compare across the different, because we've loads of different software giving us loads of different data, and trying to get that all into one platform it's not that straightforward. So there are a couple of things we're doing, but then there's other side of it that we're looking at as well is the planning and innovation. So we have a module there, design thinking and innovation, and that's all that whole thing about the creative aspects and creative culture and ideation. We have project management, which is in there as well, which is all about lean. And I know it says software project management, but it's all about the project management process, which is hugely important for them. We have digital strategy, which is all about that digital transformation, that process, and how to manage that as best you can. We have digital customer experience, which is about the outside facing and how you interact with your customers and try to get the best out of that. And again, it's about using technology to improve how you interact with your customers to give them the best possible experience, because technology is transforming that as well. We also then have a module in there we have emerging technologies, again, some of the newer stuff so people understand this is what it is, what it does. But also we've one called Business Solutions, which is an interesting one in that we're trying to get companies to come in and give us their problems, their digital related problems. And our students are going to go off and research this and come and present solutions, which I think is a hugely important part of this. And also then we have a capstone, which is actually similar in that they're able to, for their final project, actually implement a real life scenario within their work situation, document it, and so give that as their final project. So it's really geared towards those skill sets that we believe the digital leader will need.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Alan. And staying on the technology theme, final word to you, Seamus. Can you tell us about the Business with Technology courses available at ATU Galway Mayo?
Okay. Thanks, Eamon. I'll focus in my answer on two programs. One is a conversion course. It's a higher diploma in business analytics. So it's a level 8 higher diploma conversion course. That means you need to hold a level 8 in any discipline, or indeed a level 7 with some relevant work experience, and you may get admitted that way. So we take students. It's been a very popular course for several years. We've had hundreds of students from various level 8 backgrounds, be it arts, business, science, engineering, and these are graduates who want to get positions in business. I saw a recent survey where it said 80% of senior business roles advertised recently in Ireland demanded skills in business, technical business and business analytics. So the program takes in graduates from level 8 graduates from any background, and over a 1-year online program, we cover subjects such as business analytics, cloud infrastructure, business intelligence. So we're not doing a lot of coding or programming or computing per se. It's all about teaching students how to make decisions based on proper data interrogation. So it's about capturing the data, investigating the data, making decisions, and improving the business. So students come in after 1 year, they've then gained a higher diploma business analytics, and are then able to apply for promotion within their own business or apply directly for senior business roles in the digital field in Ireland and abroad. The other program we have in the business and technology sector is the Masters in Digital Media and Marketing. So it's a level 9 Masters program, online as well. A lot of students come and take the taught modules. So there are several taught modules covering things like marketing strategy, digital content, search engine analytics and search engine optimization, and so on. If you complete the taught module, you can gain a certificate in digital media and marketing. And if you continue on for the second year, you complete a major dissertation to get your master's award. Both the Masters in Digital Media and Marketing and the Higher Diploma in Business Analytics are funded by HCI, which means that the fees are very, very low, 100 to 200 euros. So both courses have proved very popular over the years, and they continue to be funded. So we expect pretty big numbers again when they start again in January. Okay.
Fantastic, Seamus. And finally, I think you have a postgraduate accounting conversion course. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. So the second conversion course we offer is a postgrad diploma in accounting. It's another conversion course. So I know this year we have students we've one student who has a degree in psychology, another student did a degree in hotel and catering, another is a graduate with a degree in English, and so on. So all you need is any level 8 degree. You do a 1 year intensive face-to-face on-site in the Galway campus course in accounting. At the end of that 1 year, you get exemptions from various accounting exams. It's fairly similar to the exemptions you get after a 3-year accounting level 8 degree. So again, there's a huge skills gap. There's 1,000 open vacancies for accountants in Ireland at the moment, with over 100 in Galway city and county alone. So all the graduates from the postgrad diploma in accounting are snapped up pretty quickly by the local SME or the big 4 firms, and all develop really lucrative careers over time.
Okay.
So
fantastic.
It's a great conversion course.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Seamus. And indeed, thanks to all our panelists. We have to wrap it up there, I'm afraid. So thanks to Sean, to Paul, Alan, and Seamus. Lots of really good information shared there. If you'd like to watch it back, we'll upload a video of this live talk to our virtual open evening webpage for you to watch again. If you're interested in doing a course at ATU, please visit our course search section on our virtual evening platform, where you can watch academic videos about some of our courses. And finally, if you have any questions regarding this talk, head over to the live Q&A. The team are still there until 9 p.m. this evening. Thanks for joining, and I hope you enjoyed this virtual event from Atlantic Technological University. Have a lovely rest of the evening. Thank you.